Coming up on Sports Paws, the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team traveled to Sioux Falls, South Dakota for NCAA Regionals.
And the acrobatics and tumbling team hosted the Iona Gales in their final home meet of the season.
Also, baseball had a 5-game week, including trips to UConn and St. Peter's.
All that and more coming up on Sports Paws, which starts right now. Welcome back into Studio 125 for another episode of Sports Paws. I'm Katie Valutkevich.
And I'm Miranda Putorti. From playoff hockey to emerging spring sports, we have a lot for you tonight.
On Thursday, the men's ice hockey team traveled to Sioux Falls, South Dakota for the NCAA Regionals. Quinnipiac takes on Providence in the NCAA Regional Semifinal. Winner advances. We'll go right into the second period as there was no action in the first. Mason Marcellus and Marcus Valutkevich 2-on-1, saved by Jack Parsons, recouped by Valutkevich behind the net, and he finds Gronwald at the point, and he sends one on and scores. It's 1-0 Bobcats. And then we see a great pass from Anton Verreau. He finds Chris Pelosi, and he makes no mistake and puts the Bobcats up 2-0, looking for even more. Tyler Borgula puts one on, and Anton Verreau able to maneuver past Parsons, and all of a sudden, it's 3-0 Bobcats, and we now head into the third. It's 4-4, a collision in front of Silverstein, but Logan Sawyer is able to tap it home. Providence is now on the board, and it is 3-1 Bobcats. Then Martin Massa sends a cross-crease pass to John Mustard, and he puts one home. The lead is now just one for Quinnipiac. And with over a minute to go, the net is empty for Providence. The puck finds Ethan Wittenbach, and he sends it home. And with that goal, he now ties Colin Graff and Brian Leach's single-season point record. Graham Sword would add another empty netter, and the Bobcats take this one 5-2, ending Providence's season. The Bobcats, Anton Verreau with a goal and assist, is NCAA playoff debut, advancing to the regional finals on Saturday.
And with a spot in the Frozen Four on the line, it's Quinnipiac taking on North Dakota in a hostile environment. Early in the first, Jack Kernan takes the puck atop the circle and rips it home. Fighting Hawks strike first. A shot from the point, bouncing puck, and Cody Kroll puts it in between his legs and past Dylan Silverstein. North Dakota's up too early. Looking to add on more, and Jack Kernan is going to do it himself with a little shake. He puts it home. 3-0 Fighting Hawks, and with that, Ram Pecknold would send Mate Marinov in for Silverstein. Second period, Dylan James with the puck, throws it on net, and it goes off Elliot Gronwald straight to the back of the net. It's 4-0 now. Quinnipiac looking for life. Ethan Wittenbach across to Mason Marcellus, but Jan Spooner with a great stop. Now a puck thrown right in front for Cole Reshny, and he slides it under the 5-hole of Mate Marinov. 5-0 Fighting Hawks. They're pouring it on now. No action in the third, but for the first time since 2016, the North Dakota Fighting Hawks punch their ticket to the Frozen Four. They do so with a 5-0 win, and Jan Spooner with his second shutout in as many games for North Dakota. And they will take on the Wisconsin Badgers for a chance to play for a national championship in Las Vegas.
Although the men's ice hockey team season has come to an end, there was some positive takeaways. Q30's Nick Olson has the story.
We're going to be a special group, and this is just a building block for them going into next year. I think they need to sort of remember this game and how hard it is to get here, so that when they're in this situation next year, they'll get the job done.
Although the 2025-26 season for the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team has come to an end, it's hard not to take away a positive. And one glaring positive, this year's first-year class.
Head coach Rand Pecknold has seen over 30 first-year classes now, but with 3 first-years leading the team in points this year, was it the best he's ever seen?
I've never really sat down and ranked all of our freshman classes, but this one has to be up there. Obviously, we've had some pivotal kids that have come through and established our program as we moved into Division I.
Up and down the lineup, the Bobcats got huge efforts from this first-year class, from their leading scorer in Ethan Wittenbach to Graham Sword in the back end.
It's an outstanding class. It's got a lot. It's got some depth to it. Really appreciate the job that my assistant coaches Joe Dume and Justin Eddy and Caston came in. Actually, Caston grabbed Graham Sword over the summer. Like they did a great job. It's a great class.
Being the 18th youngest team in the nation comes with challenges and adversity, but it builds character and helps build the future of Quinnipiac hockey.
We're still a young program, but I think in general, we'll learn from this, and hopefully everyone comes back, and we'll have another year under our belt, and we'll be better next year. I really think we'll be better next year. I do. We were younger than we normally are, and I think we'll take a nice jump next season.
Now, this first-year class will once again look to make their mark for the Bobcats next season. Reporting from the Denny Sanford Premier Center for Q30 Sports, I'm Nick Olson.
Flipping from the ice to the mat, the NCAA released its first set of rankings for the 2026 Acro season. The Quinnipiac Bobcats landed at spot number 3 below the number 2 Oregon Ducks and the 10-time defending champions, the Baylor Bears, at number 1. St. Leo and Duquesne sit at number 7 and 8, the final 2 spots to qualify for the NCAA championships. The final 3 teams in a postseason spot currently are Fairmont State, Iona, and Augustana.
Following the championship rankings, the team hosted their last home meet of the season. The Quinnipiac Acrobatics and Tumbling team hosted the Iona Gales for a senior day matchup. Starting with compulsory in the toss heat, senior Emily St. Ange and junior Jaden Wong staying in sync in the back tucks to score a 9.75. Quinnipiac takes the early lead.
Next in the Acro heat, Iona junior Annabelle Cece and graduate Paige Delman showcasing their strength as Delman pulls down Cece while she stays in a handstand, earning a 9.15. QU will be in the lead after 2.
Moving on to the pyramid heat, senior Genesis Carson doing what she does best, holding the handstand with perfect form and no movement, then transitioning to a pike hold to earn a 9.8. QU is leading Iona by less than 1 point.
Now moving into the toss heat, it's Iona's Teresa Jennings and Ty Upton with 2 high-flying double twists to score a 9.4 in the synchronized heat. Then it'll be Catherine Coker for the Bobcats in her element with a beautiful double twist to score a 9.55. Iona wins this event, but QU stays in the lead overall.
Flipping to tumbling heat, Olivia Montalbano with the front handspring front tuck, round off 2 whips, 2 back handsprings into a 1.5 to score a 9.525. And then Emily St. Ange, Avery Malik, and Tiffany Smith in the trio heat staying perfectly in sync while flipping across the floor, earning an 8.95.
The Bobcats stay perfect at home, defeating the Gales 272.355 to 262.445. Quinnipiac looks ahead to its last regular season meet at Morgan State on April 3rd. With it being the last home meet of the season, though, the team recognized its seniors. I had a chance to catch up with Coach Marianne Powers and some of the seniors following the celebration. On Saturday, the Quinnipiac Acrobatics and Tumbling team honored its seniors in a senior day matchup against the Iona Gales. And it wasn't a small group, though, totaling over a quarter of this squad's roster. 12 of the 40 athletes that make up the Bobcats were honored in the celebration, and the sheer number of them stood out in head coach Marianne Powers' mind.
You know, to have the power of 12 of them, all be in such a place where they are unified, they are dedicated, they hold their teammates accountable, and they don't ask their teammates to do anything that they wouldn't do. It's going to be hard to see them go.
Energy and emotion were high throughout Quinnipiac's victory to Iona, and for the athletes, the feelings and admiration for the program are ones that can't be understood by anyone else.
I mean, this program has done so much for me these past 4 years, and I couldn't say enough good things about it, and leaving here is going to be so hard. Everyone says it's so hard, but I never thought it'd actually be this hard. It's just been everything I could have asked for and more.
No one knows how hard it is until you actually get to senior night. We've all been talking about this for the past few days, and it's really hard to, just understand the fact that this is actually our last time here on the mat. So we're all just really grateful, and we're just having a good time, and the emotions are definitely really high.
Despite the high energy against Iona, it was something that lacked at the start of the meet against Long Island University the week prior. The solution to this came straight from the seniors.
Some big talks, some big sit-downs, and actually I asked my leadership to form some huddles this week and let their teammates know what they wanted, how they wanted to leave this program, what they wanted to leave on the floor, and it came from the senior leadership, and I was pretty proud of that.
And what do those senior leaders say to the team during the meet?
To always just keep calm and steady. When we get ahead of ourselves, that's when we kind of have our uh-ohs. So when we're just really calm and understand our muscle memory behind each round and each practice, that's when we do our best, and especially when we just have fun and let everything go.
The seniors will now turn their focus to the last regular season meet against Morgan State on April 3rd before traveling to California for the NCAA championships in hopes of bringing home a national title to cap off their time in Hamden. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Miranda Putorti.
We have to take our first commercial break of the night, but when we come back, the baseball team took a trip up the road to take on in-state rivals, the UConn Huskies, and face St. Peter's in a 3-game series a couple days later.
And the women's lacrosse team traveled to Canisius before returning home to take on Manhattan in a senior day matchup. See how the Bobcats fared right after this short break.
Do you enjoy Quinnipiac sports?
I just keep believing you're going to pick Paige Girardi over Carson Martin. I think
Floor
Carson
general,
Martin...
absolute glue guy on the court.
Then Bobcat Breakdown is the place for you.
'Twas the night of Bobcat Breakdown, and all through the suite, all the producers were running around, getting ready for show of the week.
I brought mittens because I think that half of this take is cold.
I think us Anthonys think alike because I had the exact same idea as you.
Tune in to Bobcat Breakdown every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. on Q30TV.com/watch.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Gracie and Pedro might not get along so well.
They're standing on my tail.
But there's one thing they agree on. There's a right seat for everyone.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Whether you're a dog,
Hold on, Pooch.
a cat, a fish, or a rat.
And I'm a ferret.
Be sure to travel safe.
How can you be so sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
On your next adventure, make sure your children are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. The Quinnipiac baseball team fell to the Rhode Island Rams with a score of 17-5 on Tuesday. After the loss, the squad made the in-state trip to Storrs the next day to take on the UConn Huskies. Quinnipiac hasn't beaten UConn since 2011 and are looking to do it on the road at Elliott Ballpark. Bobcats starter Joseph Hiller had an impressive start in this ballgame after some rough ones to begin his season. He strikes out 2 batters to kick off the afternoon. Hiller finished the day striking out 5, along with only allowing 1 run through 4 innings. Heading into the third to open up scoring, it's Alex Irizarry at the dish, and he cranks one deep into right field, and all Chris Pomany could do is watch it fly over the fence. That was a 3-run homer for the shortstop, giving the Bobcats the lead first. Later on in the 7th inning, the Bobcats, looking to extend the lead, leave it to Christian Smith as he goes opposite field and over the wall in right field. His second homer of the year makes the score 4-1 in favor of the Bobcats. And now moving into the next inning, Smith at the plate again. He hits the ball right between the gap of the center and left fielders. Seems like he loves insurance as 2 runners score on the stand-up double. Smith finished the day with 3 RBIs. Irizarry gives Smith a little tip of the helmet as well as he comes home. Now, speaking of doubles, Kyle Garbowski sends the ball down right field line, and right near the corner of the wall, Smith would score and Garbowski touches 2. UConn would add a 2-run homer later on, but it would not be enough as the Bobcats bullpen shuts it down through the 5 innings after Hiller came out of the game. 5 strikeouts from them, only allowing 3 hits, helping the Bobcats to an 8-3 win over the Huskies.
Following the team's win against UConn, they took on the St. Peter's Peacocks in Game 1 of a 3-game series. The Bobcats traveled to Jersey City looking for their first series win of the season. James Pazdera is starting on the mound for Quinnipiac. We're going to jump right into the 4th inning. The game is already tied 1-1. Peyton Vancast laces a double into left field, and that brings home Jack Balser and James Marino. It is now 3-1 Bobcats. And then later in the inning, Christian Smith lines the ball into center field and is able to get Cole Constable a score, but Caden Williamson is thrown out at home plate. It would still make it 5-1 Quinnipiac. In the 5th inning, Marino smashes a home run ball into left field with a runner on base, and that makes it his 3rd homer of the year. It is now 7-1 Quinnipiac. And then bottom of the 5th, Pazdera gets Luke Schwartz looking, and he went 6 innings with 1 earned run and 8 strikeouts. In the 6th inning, Jack Balser bloops a single into left field, and Kyle Garbowski scores to make a 9-1 Quinnipiac lead. And then off into the 8th inning, Vancast hits one the other way for a sac fly, and Balser comes in to score. Vankes went 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs on the day. Bobcats extend their lead 11-2, and one batter later, Kamak hits a sac fly of his own, bring home Marino. Quinnipiac adds another to make it 12-2. And then in the final frame, Maddox Labuda would go 1-2-3 in his 1 inning in relief, striking out 2 to close out the game. The Bobcats win their 3rd in the last 4 to secure the Game 1 against the Peacocks.
And it wasn't just big hits that got the Bobcats the win against St. Peter's. Q30's Freddie Martin has more on Quinnipiac's new style of play.
Last season, the Quinnipiac baseball team's offense was filled with firepower. Their 1 through 9 being able to almost out-hit any lineup that they came across. This season, the mindset is a little different, but there's no doubt that they're able to make the same offensive impact this season compared to last season.
Last year was a little bit different. This year I knew we have to play the game different. Today was more of the style of what I expected us to be, where we're forcing teams to make plays on us. We bunted a couple times. We had some success with that.
Bunting isn't the flashiest, no doubt, but when executed well, it's one of the most rewarding ways to give your team the advantage, something Delaney believes wholeheartedly.
I think it's one of those things where bunting's not cool in a lot of ways. It's not sexy to a lot of people, but the reality is when you do it and you see success from it, then it allows our guys to have a positive impact of understanding this does work.
The Bobcats also put on a clinic of timely hitting, capitalizing often when any runner reached base. It's a brand of baseball that they might not be as familiar with, but it proved to make all the difference in the win.
Our offense did a great job with just getting on base, and then we had timely hits and in big spots, so we just continued to put pressure. We didn't have a monster inning. It was just a matter of each inning had continuous pressure, and we were able to put runs on.
Now that the Bobcats have started to find their identity offensively, Delaney knows that this new approach is their key to success as they surge into the rest of MAC play.
Hopefully this is something that can continue to go. That can be a piece of the offense, because that's a big part for us.
Quinnipiac now looks to capture its first MAC Series victory this season on Saturday, with their newfound philosophy leading the charge. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Freddie Martin.
Following the win on Friday, the Bobcats were looking for the sweep the next 2 days, and that they would do. Game 2 was a closer one, with Quinnipiac winning by 2 runs, 8-6. Caden Williamson opened scoring in the first inning after James Marino got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. St. Peter's was able to get 2 in the bottom of the first, but they wouldn't be able to get the lead again after a 3-run inning for the Bobcats in the third. Jack Walser went 3 for 6 at the plate, and Andrew Robayo pitched the first 5.1 innings.
Then on Sunday, the team finished the weekend winning Game 3, 8-4. Wright got the start for the Bobcats, getting 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. 6 different Bobcats had RBIs in the win, including senior Christian Smith, contributing 2 of his own. The team now looks ahead to their Tuesday matchup against UMass Amherst.
Moving from the diamond to the field, the women's lacrosse team traveled to Buffalo, New York on Wednesday to take on the Canisius Golden Griffins. It was a close matchup that was looking to go Quinnipiac's way, but the home team was able to score 3 times in the last 79 seconds, including the buzzer beater with 0.2 seconds remaining to secure the victory 15-14. 4 Bobcats recorded hat tricks in the loss, and Peyton Choma's 5-point game was her second in 3 games.
The team then traveled back home for another MAC matchup against the Manhattan Jaspers. It was senior day in Hamden as the Quinnipiac women's lacrosse team is taking on the Manhattan Jaspers. Starting in the second quarter, the score is 6-4 in favor of the Jaspers, and they extended with Julia Kerr's second goal of the game. Later on, after cutting the deficit to 1, the Bobcats are looking to tie it. Kate Bendowski finds Julia Givens in front of the net, and she does just that. Then about a minute later, Bree Provenzano finds Mia Delmont, who makes her way through traffic and fires in the goal. Bobcats lead going into the half. Bendowski lines up for a free position attempt and drills it into the back of the net. Quinnipiac is up 10-8 over Manhattan. Later on, Delmont finds Givens, and she will slip through the traffic in front and gets past Sophie Pasnek. Into the final quarter, Ella Burnett does not want to go down without a fight, and she goes top shelf and scores her 5th of the game. Later on, Charlotte DeMeo passes to Bendowski, who makes a quick look to Delmont, and she scores the one-timer. To cap off the senior day fun, Bendowski finds Delaney Turner in front of the net, and she scores on her senior day and gets her second career goal. The Bobcats roll on to take this one by a final score of 17-9. Emma Miller-Ayala with 5 goals in the win, setting a new career high for most goals in a game.
In the win against the Jaspers, the Bobcats celebrated their graduating seniors. Q30 Seb Lopes has the story.
It was senior day for the Quinnipiac women's lacrosse team on Saturday.
A class of 10 helped surge them to a win over the Manhattan Jaspers.
I think our seniors did a really good job to make sure that our team was locked in to earn the first conference win today.
For the senior class, what makes them different and, quote, unique, as head coach Jordan Christopher says, is their drive for success.
For them, it's a mentality thing. They want to be successful. They want to work really hard in everything that they do, not just as lacrosse players. And I think they've helped us create a culture that I'm really proud of to be a part of. And they just push everyone to work a little bit harder each day.
Senior attack Mia Delmon couldn't be happier with the time she has spent at Quinnipiac.
Being here for the whole 4 years, this is a great program, and this school and the coaches, they give you a lot, and they give us this opportunity. And obviously having Jilly along with the 2 other senior transfers that came in this year, they were a great addition to the team. And yeah, I just couldn't be more happy.
Julia Givens decided to join her sister Anna by transferring from St. Francis University to Quinnipiac University for her senior season. And she would say it was the right decision.
Oh, I'm so happy. I've heard a lot. I mean, obviously I talked to her so much when I was in the portal, and she had nothing but great things to say about like the coaches, the players, the university itself. So there was no doubt that I wanted to come here. I was kind of nervous, but they were a great group of girls to come in to play with. I've learned so much from them, and they're also become like my best friends, and they're just really good leaders on the field.
Mia Delmon delivered the message the senior class of 10 wants to leave behind on the program, and Julia Givens couldn't have tried to say it better herself.
I think we just want to make history this year, and I know we have the talent to do it and put it together, and it's been a long time coming. We just want to be that team who comes out on top and makes it to the NCAA tournament and winning the MHOK.
As they said it best, this class of 10 seniors will look to etch their names in the history books of Quinnipiac women's lacrosse. For Q30 Sports, Seb Lopes.
It is time for us to take our final commercial break of the night. But don't go anywhere, as the men's lacrosse team took on the Marist Red Foxes for a Saturday MAC matchup in Hamden.
And after that, it's everyone's favorite time of the night, the top 5 plays of the week. Stay with us to see which ones made the cut. Don't go anywhere. Sports Paws will be right back.
See it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
No, I'm not gambling.
Live from the piazza, it's Quinnipiac tonight!
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt and to support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Thanks for sticking with us here at Sports Paws. The Quinnipiac softball team traveled down to New Jersey for a weekend series against the Ryder Broncs. In the first game on Friday, the Bobcats struck first in the 5th inning as Allie Hochstadter scored on a Bronx fielding error. Ryder would score in the bottom of the inning to even things out, and a similar thing would happen in the 7th inning before Ryder walked it off 3-2 for the win.
Then the team dropped Game 2 with a score of 2-10 in 2 innings because of the mercy rule. Senior infielder Sophia Vega recorded the 2 RBIs of the day and 3 at-bats, while sophomore pinch hitter Kaylin Kosvich and senior outfielder Noelle Reed scored for the Bobcats. And in Game 3, Vega continued her momentum, scoring 3 runs on the day, along with first-year second baseman Kinsley Cox recording 2 runs and 1 RBI to help secure the win. The team looks ahead to their next 3-game series against Manhattan Jaspers on Friday.
Turning back to the soccer and lacrosse stadium, the men's lacrosse team welcomed Marist into Hamden on Saturday. Despite the Bobcats leading 11-8 going into the fourth quarter, the Red Foxes would outscore the Bobcats 5-1 in the last 15 minutes to narrowly win this MAC matchup with a score of 13-12. Nate Watson and Nick Mione both had hat tricks in the loss, and Evan Miner made 12 saves in net.
The women's track and field team flew down to North Carolina for the Raleigh Relays, and a new school record has been set. Junior distance runner Sierra Gray became the first Bobcat to break the 35-minute mark in a 10K race. The record was previously held by former Bobcat Liv DeStefano in 2024. They will now shift their focus to racing against UConn on Saturday. Continuing with spring sports, it was a weekend filled with tennis, and Q30's Spencer Decker has the recap.
Well, thanks, Miranda and Katie. Both the Quinnipiac men's and women's tennis teams were back in action this week, and the men's team started their weekend with a non-conference game against the NJIT Highlanders. The Bobcats dropped that game 5-2. They did get singles wins from Vishal Prakash and Carl Soholm. They also lost the doubles. It was a very close match, had some players go to 3 sets. The Bobcats ultimately dropped that one. And then the men's team, after dropping their match 4-3 the previous weekend against Sacred Heart, they got back in the winning column 6-1 over Siena. The only singles loss for the Bobcats was Finn Burge, who lost 6-0 and 6-2, but a double sweep across the board, and a lot of Bobcats finishing their matches in 2 sets. Now for the women's side, what a start it's been to MAC play so far. A 6-1 win last week, now a 7-0 win against Siena. All singles wins across the board, including a win for Willow Renton as she won 6-4, 6-3. Now after a scheduling change, both the men's and women's teams will play this Friday outdoors against the Mariners Red Foxes. Reporting here from the tennis courts, I'm Spencer Decker for Q30 Sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Spencer. With winter sports coming to a close, several athletes have entered the transfer portal. Starting with women's basketball, junior forward Anna Foley and first-year guard Ella Ryan announced that they will be entering the transfer portal following the team's WBIT loss to Stanford Cardinal. Both Ryan and Foley played all 34 games this season. Ryan averaged 10.44 points per game and had a total of 67 three-pointers, 61 assists, and 24 steals. Foley leads the team in blocks with 36 and defensive rebounds with 146. She also had 88 rebounds and 36 steals and averaged 10 points per game.
Big losses along with the loss of head coach Trisha Fabry, but switching over to men's basketball, both Jaden Zimmerman and Grant Randall will be looking to put their feet on a new court next season. This past season, though, Zimmerman averaged 15.1 points per game and in the last 5 games shot 14.7% from behind the arc, with none made in his final 3 games. Randall averaged 11.4 points per game, scored 40 points from the three-point line, marked 30 steals, and had a 126.7 offensive rating, which led the MAC this past year.
Skating over to hockey, Cass Turner has already begun her recruiting in the transfer portal, snagging Ilsa Landeman from St. Thomas University. Landeman played in every single game this season for the Tommies, recording 17 points and 36 games. During her high school days, she recorded an astonishing 242 points and was named as a 2024 finalist for Minnesota High School Hockey's Miss Hockey Award. You know, Miranda, Acro's always striving for a perfect 10.
Yeah, they sure are, but here at Sports Paws, we're more focused on 5, the top 5 plays of the week. Play 5 on the turf, Marist versus Quinnipiac in men's lacrosse. Evan Miner makes a huge stop to keep his team in the game. Quinnipiac would lose by 1.
Play 4, NCAA Regionals in South Dakota. Elliot Gronwald slaps a shot in the net and posts it down low, far side. More from this game in a moment.
On the diamond for play 3, it's Alex Irizarry at the dish. First pitch crushing over the fence in right field. That's his second homer of the season. Bobcats would win in Stores 8-3 over the Huskies.
Back on the ice for play 2, Anton Burrow with a beautiful toe drag, scoring Quinnipiac's 3rd of the game. Miranda, we have to take another look at this. Slots it right by Jack Parsons, and Bobcats win 5-2 over the Friars.
And for play number 1, we head to the trio tumbling heat. Emily St. Ange, Tiffany Smith, and Avery Malik performing in near-perfect synchronization to earn an 8.95. They'll get the win on senior day.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Make sure to follow us on social media at Q30 Sports on Instagram and X to stay up to date on the latest Quinnipiac sports.
Thank you to the producers and everyone working hard to put this show together. For Katie Valutkevich, I'm Miranda Putorti. Have a great night, Bobcats.